What's going on, family? You're watching Sports Talk with BWatts. I'm your host, Bernard Watts. Do me a favor. You got to hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. Hit that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live or drop a video. Want to say hello to everybody out there in the chat. Want to appreciate y'all tonight. Getting ready for a good show. Getting ready to talk about Coach Prime and the Colorado football team, along with Shedeur and his situation with the Cleveland Browns. It's Tuesday night. I was waiting on Uncle Steve and JR. I guess they busy. We'll just move right along. All right. But want to say appreciate everybody in the chat. Let's get this show underway. Hey, gotta say hello to BD, MSD, I love CC, Sabrina Blankenship, Peter, what's going on, Miss Dawn Adams, what's going on, Miss Crystal Wise William, Timothy Isaac, Mildred Johnson, how you doing? Miss Harris, what's up? Wayne Hood, what's going on? I see you. Danny Little John is in the building. Miss V, how you doing tonight? Appreciate you tonight. MSD, I see you. 1F, 1 Faden, what's going on? You doing all right? Appreciate you tonight. Simply J, Miss Janice Pearson, what's going on? Poker Face, Andrew Bolden, Michael Lockhart, what's going on? Simply J is in the building. Miss Carrie Broughton, Miss Fat to you, what's going on? 4220 Jenkins, Jeanette Fox, I see you and I appreciate you tonight. Miami, my dog, what's going on, big dog? Appreciate you tonight. Miss Patricia Gordon, what's going on? Appreciate you tonight. Appreciate you tonight. Miss Crystal Wise William is here. Miss Benson Jackson is in the building. Appreciate y'all tonight. Once again, you're watching Sports Talk. Miss Carolyn Shepherd is here. RDRD is in the building. Appreciate you. I see you. Nisa girl, what's going on? I see you. And I appreciate you tonight. Y'all do me a favor. You got to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Hit that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live or drop a video. Will you do that for me? I appreciate you. And if you would like to continue to support the broadcast in any kind of way, Cash App, Super Chat, or you can simply just join the membership. Can we get some people to join the membership tonight as you watch? All right. Let me get ready. I see JR Boxing is backstage. I can bring him up. What's going on, my dog?
BWatts, what's happening?
JR Boxing is. What's up, bro? You doing all right?
Man, yeah, man, I'm doing good. What's going on with you?
See, man, I'm doing great. I can't complain, man. What a day. What a
Neither can
day.
I, man. Neither can I.
Yeah, man. Anytime I can wake up in the morning and get my walk in, I'm good. I am good, man. I want to thank JR for joining the broadcast tonight. And we finna get into the show. If you're tuning in, give JR Boxing a shout out in that comment section.
Chat, what's happening, chat?
Put JR Boxing down now in the comment section. All right, JR, let's get into this thing, man. Ain't gonna hold you long. Just give me back 50 minutes and we out of here. All right.
Yes, sir.
Breaking news today. Cleveland Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals. And they got in return, I think, a 5th round draft pick or a 6th round draft pick. I don't forget how it went. Let's see how it went. The Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals and a 6th round draft pick for a 5th round draft pick. And also, it's been reported that Shedeur Sanders will be the backup quarterback this weekend in Pittsburgh. And I was shocked they did that quick. I thought maybe they would move up, but they went with Shedeur Sanders as the backup quarterback, which is I'm glad to hear that. That let me know we're getting a little bit more closer to hitting that football field. So give me your thoughts on the trade and Shedeur being named QB2.
Yeah, I think it was pretty standard of an NFL team, right? This is the actual time that Cleveland operating like an actual NFL organization. A team came that's in need of some type of veteran quarterback on the roster right now, the Cincinnati Bengals, because they're struggling with the guy that they're having on the field and Jake Browning. So they call up, they get Joe Flacco. Look, Cleveland make a little deal. We'll give you Flacco plus a 6th round so we can get another 5th round back. They're still keeping 10 picks for next year. But to me, the Cleveland staff seems all invested into these guys this year, being Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel. So that's good news for Shedeur.
Right.
Because it could have went the opposite way. It could have been, well, let's trade Shedeur and maybe the fans will be excited about it and stuff like that. Like, yep, he traded, he out of there. But then now you Shedeur going to a new organization and have to learn the ways of that organization to get on the football field. Right. But he already has been in Cleveland's organization for some months now. So that just shows, look, there's progression, there's trust that they have in Shedeur to say, we're going to trade away this 18-year veteran and we're going to promote you to the number 2. Because I don't know why people thought Bailey Zappi would be number 2. Right. Bailey Zappi played for Cleveland last year, but he played under an entirely different offensive coordinator. There's a new offensive coordinator now in Tommy Rees. So there's no connection between Bailey Zappi and Tommy Rees. There's no connection there. So that's good for Shedeur. Now it's the opportunity can be, focused on him continuously preparing himself to be the eventual starter for that organization. So I'm excited for him, man. He's this closer to having his dreams fulfilled.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that, JR. But if you look at the organization, how they handled the situation, all for at least 5 months, everything they were telling us that Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and shit, they took reps.
Yeah.
Those guys, to me, it's just backwards how they operate. And then I know Joe Flacco performed real bad in the first 4 games, but still, they had to know Joe Flacco wasn't going to be the same from 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to say that's a tough situation for Joe Flacco to be in. Look, man, you're a veteran. You're a professional in this league. You know what's expected. Bad quarterback play is bad quarterback play. Whether you can say it's the offensive line, whether you can say, hey, receivers not getting open. But turning the ball over is a no-no. right? So he
Right.
2 touchdowns for 4 or 5 interceptions or something like that. That's not a recipe for winning football, as we saw with Colorado this past Saturday. So it just wasn't a recipe for winning football. Cleveland statistically ranks last in a lot of offensive categories, so he's not contributing to them winning. He's actually a detriment by turning the ball over. So look, hey, thanks, Joe, but you got to go. That's pretty much what they told him at this point. What up, Unc?
What's up, Unc? What's going on? What you think about Cleveland trading Joe Flacco and moving Shedeur to QB2 this weekend against Pittsburgh Steelers, sir?
Sir, the donut says everything you need to say. They selling y'all something, man. They can't sell tickets, baby. They can't sell no tickets. You can say a lie so many times, but that lie is just a lie. It needs somebody to believe it. Nobody's believing that mess, man. Congrats to Joe Flacco getting out of a S organization, a S show. Congratulations to him. He done got out of one S show, but it's something about Ohio. They got another one over there too. So, but it's better than what he was in. So, with that being said, I congrats him. He is a great professional. He did what he needed to do. He represented the organization well. It's Dylan's time. It's Dylan's time. Dylan has his opportunity, and I congratulate Little Fingers. And I think he did and I would tell people, Little Fingers don't move he don't move the needle. Little Fingers, like everything else. I tell people all the time that he did what Steph Nasty asked him to do. Steph Nasty asked him to come in there and run his offense, and his offense, which everybody knows, generates under 20 points a game, which is the lowest in the NFL. So with that being said, it's Dylan's time. Let's give Dylan this wonderful offensive line that he got, because this ain't the offensive line he had at Oregon. This ain't the offensive line he had at Oklahoma. So with that being said, he gets to see what heat really looks like. And I congratulate him, because the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's time for Mr. Watts, who's TJ, who plays for Pittsburgh. It's time for him to get his sacks up. And he got the right person to do it. Little Fingers. Little Fingers will do it for him. So congrats, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are waiting on you. Shedeur, you one play away. Be ready, because what you see is this here, BWatts. Ain't nobody, the NFL is boring. I hate to tell you, it's boring. It's not boring in meaning that you need something to talk about. You had an outstanding game with Buffalo and New England, very good game. You had a very good game with Travis. They did an outstanding job. But when you look around the league, you don't have that bad guy. And they're gonna make 12 the bad guy. They need a villain. They got the NFL. If you look at it, who's the villain in the NFL? JR, tell me, who do you think they can put a villain in the NFL right now? Name one person.
Yeah, not a quarterback. That's for sure. I can't name
Yeah, that's
one.
what I'm saying. So just look at it this way. They're selling, this man is an emergency quarterback, and you're advertising him. He ain't even playing, and the NFL is advertising him over in London. Where they do that at?
I know that. That's crazy.
They get that money.
That's nasty work, bro.
Capitalism, gotta get that money, baby.
Hey, they got to sell that show some kind of way. I bet them folk bought that ticket and said, damn, what 12 at?
Yeah. Is he even suited up? Where he at?
but this is where I'm going. Just like when I sent you that thing yesterday telling you about that narrative changing now.
Yeah.
Look at what they're doing. Now even Rex Ryan and changed. And I tell you, the Holy Ghost is something. He must have had that guy who hit him with the Holy Ghost. And I feel it. I feel it in my bones.
Nothing about Rex Ryan, man.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I feel it. I feel it in my shana.
Hey, you just sit beside in church, you just listen. Yeah, then all of a sudden somebody beside you that say, oh, thank you, Jesus. You said, what the hell?
Thank you. I feel it. What all that? But all that being said, people out there in chat land, just wait. The best is yet to come. You can't mess with this. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna shut up. Shedeur Sanders has a praying grandmother that prayed over him. He has a praying mother that prayed over him. He got a praying father that prays over him. He got his brothers and sisters. He got his aunties. He got his uncles. He got a whole nation in Cleveland and all over the world that's praying for him and his success. It's destiny, baby. You cannot fight destiny. It is meant to be and it will be. And some people got to move so Shedeur can do what he need to do. Back to you, BWatts.
Just want to thank our new member for joining the Broad Sports Talk with BWatts. Who that? What is Ladrunda? Sharkley?
Ladrea Sharkey.
Ladrea Sharkley.
Shout out to Ladrea Sharkey. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Yeah, JR, check this out though, JR. When you do look at Cleveland, what everything they've done so far, and we're getting ready for Pittsburgh this weekend with Dylan Gabriel. Now, when you look at his performance this past Sunday against Minnesota and London, if he go back to Pittsburgh and perform the same way, and they still lose, and he continue to play that way, and they still lose, how many games do you give Dylan Gabriel since he's the 3rd round draft pick before you move on to Shedeur?
Yeah, I think the outcome will be probably about 6 to 7 games. You know, if he puts on like he did in London, 6 or 7 games. You know, he didn't do anything to lose the game, but he didn't do anything particular to win the game, right?
Okay.
So,
Time out.
You gotta, you know, at some point, like as a quarterback, like there has to be plays that have to be made to win a game. And even if that's one, you know, even if that's 1 to 2 games, like preferably you want your quarterback to put you in a position to win every game, right? You definitely don't want them to lose it, but you want them to be in a position to win you every game. And I just didn't see that from this game. You know, maybe they've conservative in play calling, just being, you know, they're going over to the UK to play the game, whatever the case may be. But like Unc stated, look, Kevin Stefanski has an offense that over the last, I want to say it was like 40-something games, it's only been averaging roughly about 20 points. So, look, does that bode well for Shedeur? You know, it's Kevin Stefanski the guy for Cleveland. Look, he 6 or 7 years in as the head coach. I believe it's 6 or 7, somewhere around there. But look, quite frankly, he's just not getting it done. And if you're looking at Dylan Gabriel and his performance, if it goes the same throughout 6, 7 games, then you'll see Shedeur coming in probably around bye week time. So that'll be week 9 or 10 for them, somewhere around there. And then you'll see Shedeur, you know, get his opportunity to finish out the season, so they can get a fair assessment and see where they are with these 2 first-round draft picks coming up next year.
Check this out, Uncle Steve. Same question. Let's go with what JR said. 6 games. That's a lot of more games to me. And if you still losing, will Kevin Stefanski still be around if he lose 6 games to make that decision?
This is where the team will make that determination. It depends on how they look. I think if Steph Nasty loses 6 consecutive games on top of what he's lost, he's getting fired, because now they can see you're bringing in. If it's me as an owner, you can see what's going on. The owner and the general manager, I've heard, they meet with him every Monday and Friday.
Yeah, I heard that too.
So if they meet, and these are mandatory meetings. Normally, you don't hear of an owner meeting with the coach twice a week to go over what they plan on doing, especially when you got a losing organization. So if you're doing that, we really got a problem. You meeting that much and you losing like they losing, we got a problem. But what's going to happen is this one here. Dylan, the way he played, you got to play him. And Steph Nasty is the reason they drafted him. And they drafted him high. They drafted Dylan high. because he was not projected in no third round. You could have got a whole lot of players before Dillon. You could have got you a star receiver, and that's the problem. You could have got a receiver. You could have got an offensive lineman. You could have got players that could be contributing to your organization in a big way, and you could have got Dylan Littlefingers in the 6th round. He was still going to be there because who was going to take a chance on him? Because if you look at around the league, they don't want no small people on their team. They do that when they advertise, when them people come outside advertising the team, the ball game and stuff like that, they do that. But other than that, they ain't got nobody on no team small. So Dillon is gonna go out, he's gonna do his thing, he's gonna be the guy that goes out there and he's gonna get you excited. And he's going to do some things. They're like, oh, and I'm telling you, he made some plays. That 17-yard pass that Judy dropped, that was nice. I have to give Dillon made some passes that I was like, okay, that's good. That's nice. But then I saw the real Dillon. Then you saw the negative things that when the tight end wide open at the end of the game, if he just hit him with that little string play over there, that changes the game because it's a first down and you know, you keep moving and the time goes off the clock. But with that being said, I'll just put it to you this way. Dillon needs his opportunity because Dillon is the same as Colt McCoy. He's a left-handed Colt McCoy. He's going to be a journeyman backup. The only way Dillon is going to be a quarterback that you can put in a game and be very successful, you have to have him with a team like the Miami Dolphins that were loaded when they first got Hill, Waddle, and all of those. When they were loaded like that, if he's loaded with a very good offensive line, a very good running back, and a very good wide receiver group, like he had in Oregon, yes, he can be successful because he's not doing anything. He's just managing the game, and he'll have a very good defense. But if you don't have that talent, Dillon ain't the one for you. So all I'm saying is let him get his opportunity. He's going to do what Dillon always does. He's average at best, and he'll go out there and he'll represent, but you're not winning anything. So with that being said, he doesn't win games. And what I mean by winning games is when you got 12, it's 1 minute and 30 seconds, and everybody putting it on his back, and he said, we're going to go down this field and score. 12 does that. Dillon ain't that. So with that being said, let him give his opportunity. We'll get 12 in the game. When 12 get in there, me personally, BWatts, Steph Nasty needs to be gone because he needs to feel comfortable back there, and he needs to know Steph Nasty can set you up for failure because he did not let Dillon go back there not one time and hold that ball. Now, Shedeur, he was calling some plays in which those guys were running some deep routes, and he was in that, and you're going to get hit. So all I'm saying, I don't want to see him back there calling plays for Shedeur because I don't think he's going to have his best interest in mind. Back to you, BWatts.
Well, that's a good point. I want to thank Ms. Dawn Adam for that super chat, $4.99 super chat. Your Watson becoming active. All right, let's stay with that. JR, what they going to do with Deshaun Watson since they don't trade it? Joe Flacco, that's a roster spot open. What's your take on Deshaun Watson? What you think? I know we don't know that the Cleveland Browns will do with Deshaun Watson.
I mean, look, like Vegas, man, house money plays, right? Deshaun Watson, the house money right now. That's $45 million banked right there. So, look, them trading Joe Flacco could definitely be an implication that Deshaun's rehab situation is progressing along to where they think that he could be available at some point during the season. So we'll see what that looks like when we get to that impasse. But yeah, typically house money plays, man. You know, if you paying somebody that much money, you kind of want a return on investment. They tried to push him out this year by recouping on some of that money from extracurricular activities he participated in over his off season, right? They were looking at pictures. They brought it to NFL arbitrators to say he didn't have a boot on, but it comes to term that he only needed to wear the boot when he was in the facility. So he wasn't in the facility. They could not get back money from that contract. So that guaranteed money still plays. So any investor of anything would be like, well, if my money is over there, well, let me give that money one more shot. Let me see what that money look like, so maybe I can trade that money somewhere else, move that money around. So what that means for Shedeur, look, I don't know, right? Only thing Shedeur can do is steady the ship, keep keeping himself mentally prepared, physically prepared for when he's able to get on the field. He leaves no doubt, right? And then you let the organization figure out what they want to do with the money that's in the organization. But I would not be surprised if Deshaun Watson is active, by week 10 or something like that. You let a few more weeks go by, then they move him back to the active roster. I would not be surprised at all.
Hold on before you go, Uncle Steve. Let me get this off. I want to thank Miss Lady of Elegance Canada for becoming a member of Sports Talk with BWatts. We thank you so kindly. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Anybody else want to join the membership? Feel freely and kindly do so. All right, Uncle.
Thank you. Thank you. She looks wonderful too. Thank you for becoming a member of Sports Talk with BWatts. We truly appreciate you. Everybody's welcome over here. Everybody's welcome. Even the haters. We like it too. I need people. I need people to hate a little bit. That makes me feel good, because if I ain't got haters, I ain't doing something right. But with that being said, and that's the truth. If somebody ain't hating on you, that means, bro, when they hating on you, you doing something they want to do.
Yeah.
So if they ain't hating on you, you ain't doing, you just average at best. I gotta have them hating on me, because I gotta make them do what they do. But with that being said, let's go with Watson. You're talking about billionaires. So I got 2 points here. If you're asking me what I'm gonna do or what a billionaire is gonna do, is 2 different things. A billionaire is this here. A billionaire don't like losing money. He done already been screwed. He done paid a man guaranteed money, and this man ain't won nothing for him. This man has been off the field more than he's been on the field. And with that being said, he's looking at it like, golly, you already look stupid. You already look stupid. So what's the point? And then this is where I'm going. Due to the situation of Watson, I gotta cut it, man. I gotta cut it. I have to be one of them things. I have to cut it. And the reason I have to cut it is this one here. Your organization has to stand for something. You can't be the place where all the people who got records come and you accept them. You got, you need to have a couple choir boys. Now, I like some people who knock you upside the head, but I don't want you to have a record on top of knocking them upside the head. Just get probation. Let's do that. But with that being said, this is what he's gonna do. Just like JR told you, he couldn't get the NFL to do his nasty work by saying, hey, let's try to get out of this contract because this guy didn't do what he's supposed to do. He got injured and he wasn't taking care of himself. He couldn't get out of it that way. The right thing to do is this. It's a loss. It's a loss. You got to cut it. It's a loss. Move on. Because the women as your fan base, you'll lose a lot. You bring him back, man, look, on top of Shedeur, press, and that, man, you know what they're going to do. They're going to start asking Shedeur, what do you think about Deshaun being your mentor with all this stuff? Man, you don't need that. You do not need that. Let that go. Get your franchise turned around. Let Deshaun go live his wonderful life. Go with a team and get a fresh start and go from there. Because if the owner does this one here, the owner steals money anyway. It's not a loss for you. You got people paying for that beautiful stadium that he's going to be getting, and he's a billionaire. What they do that at? You're a billionaire. You're going to have the government and the people of Cleveland paying for your stadium.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you're stealing money there. So you should pay for something. So it's good to see them take a loss, because we always taking losses. It's time to see them taking losses. So congrats to the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, you did good, young man. Ain't nothing like getting that government stimulus package that you got. I'm looking for the next person to get it. Back to you, BWatts.
JR, who will make the decision? The head coach or the owner and the GM for Shedeur to hit that field when it's time comes?
Look, honest is kept, man. I think it'll be a collective thing, man. We're all three, owner, GM, and the coach. You know, if he's still around to even make the decision at that point.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a collective effort. Again, we're talking about a coach in an offensive system that over the past 40 games has only been scoring 20 points. If you look, even if you just break it down to this season, they only been averaging 17 points. So that's 3 points lower than what the previous 40 games you played. So it'll be a situation of how can we generate wins, right? Our defense is keeping us in the game. How can we generate wins? How can we guarantee wins? How can we move an organization forward? You don't make Myles Garrett the highest non-paid quarterback, right? And then just tell him, hey, man, just keep holding on. Myles Garrett done already told you, look, I'll take less money. I want to get out, but if y'all going to offer me an offer that I cannot refuse, I'll be a dummy to not accept it, right? So you got to think that people in that organization, Denzel Ward is coming back up on a contract situation. He about 2 years out from a new contract. What do you tell him? You know, he's going to be looking to double down on his production as being one of the most productive cornerbacks in the league. So what do you tell guys like that have given their blood, sweat, and tears to the organization that you want to keep there because it means something, they help your defense, but you're not winning. Offensively, you're not doing good enough. So if the offense keeps coming out, putting up 17 points, I think they look for a spark, and that spark will be in the form of Shedeur Sanders coming in.
Hey, BWatts, ask that question again for me.
Yes. Who you think will make the decision first for Shedeur to hit the field? Head coach, GM, or the owner?
Oh, okay. Well, BWatts, we always know. When you watch Django, the person gonna say who is that sitting on top of that NAD? The owner need to know. The owner need to know who's sitting on top of that NAD because the owner makes the decisions first and foremost, and the owner's gonna make that decision based off his bank account. Because what you got to realize, they got to put people in them seats, man. That's a big stadium they in, and you're losing, and let's say it again, and you're losing. And the people are frustrated and they're mad. How are you going to put people in seats? You can't put people in seats, and it's sad to say, Dylan just don't excite nobody, man. It's nothing about his game that excites you. His game is it's a robot, and if you saw the robot, what I saw, the robot pulled. Everybody talking about how smart he is. I saw him reading off a piece of paper that was stuff that he had, that he had right there in his underneath his pants. He had a big old piece of paper he pulled out every time, and he read them plays to him. He ended up repeating everything the coach was saying. So if you're a supercomputer, that must have been his microchip that he was pulling out of his pants, and he was reading, and he had to put back in his head so that he could program himself. All I'm saying is this here. Yeah. Ain't nobody going to no football game to watch losing. With the economy the way it is, people losing jobs and everything else, you think they're gonna spend their hard-earned money to go see Steph Nasty, and then this is the worst part, BWatts, they don't score number 17 points.
I know, bro.
Bro, that's boring. Who does that? You see more points scored in high school. So why would I go to Ohio State? Why would I go to you guys and I can go to Ohio State and watch real football? So you got to bring somebody, and they got somebody by 12, but I do something even better than that. I make even more money. I get rid of that receiver, that punt return guy who got number 2, and I get that number 2 to Shedeur so we can really make some more money. Now we got to spin around and you got to buy some more jerseys because he's 2 now. He's back. He's back to 2. And keep it moving.
Steve, you got all the money, though.
Smoke in the city.
Yeah. Hey, that would be some nasty work. I say that one. That would be some nasty work. But guess what? It gonna work. It's sure gonna work.
Go buy it, man.
Hey, people gonna go buy it, bro. You're right. They gonna go buy it though. But still, though, JR, when you look at the situation, still with Shedeur, right? how I want to say this without being so when it come down, I think Uncle Steve said it. Do you really trust Kevin Stefanski if you Shedeur Sanders as the quarterback when you hit that field? His play calling kind of suspect. You see everybody done turned on him. They call him for his job. I don't know. Would you rather get rid of? I don't know. That's in a tough situation, man. Cause you see how they did him against that LA Rams game, man. Do you really trust Kevin Stefanski? He been lying to us since day one.
Yeah.
All the way up to this point. Now you finna again Shedeur when he really didn't want Shedeur.
Look, man, look, trust is a fickle thing, man. You know, after me and my wife have a passionate discussion, I sleep with one eye open, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the bed. I love you, boo. Let me sleep with one eye open, right? But no, if you ask me, no, there's nothing to trust, right?
Right.
As far as like how things were handled in mini camp, and even if you want to go back to the draft situation, like how things were handled there, then you float that to rookie mini camp and then training camp, and it was just a situation that it was a deplorable situation. It was a terrible situation, and you still capitalizing off his name, image, and likeness, right?
Right.
So if the fancy the coach and Shedeur out there and his route concepts that's 30 yards downfield, like what are we doing? You know? So I wouldn't trust him, but I would say the right thing publicly. Obviously, you're gonna say the right thing from a PR standpoint, but you know, I wouldn't trust them. Them be conversations that would be had with my brothers and my dad, that's the coach at Colorado, and them conversations would just stay right there. But you're asking me, nah, it ain't no reason to trust them, BWatts.
Okay.
Well, it tells you, if you read the Bible, it'll tell you you can trust, but you got to verify. You got to verify. You can go out there and say, I got to verify first. Once I verify, we can go on that. But you got to look at it. JR, you nailed it. Let's say it like this. Let's go by his actions.
Yeah.
The coach's actions tell you everything you need to know, BWatts. It's too much noise coming out of that building with all of this negative stuff about Shedeur. He's not at the front. He's not at the front of the rooms. He ain't studying. He lazy. He's far behind. He needs to put more work in. He's more worried about entertainment. Come on, that's a narrative that's put out by the Cleveland Browns. That's not a general manager thing because it makes no sense. That's a coach who's looking at his investment. I think what Barry told him, man, you bet on this horse here. You bet on a donkey, and I bet on a thoroughbred because a donkey is smaller than a thoroughbred. So you bet on a little horse. We bet on the big horse, and we're racing. So Steph Nasty then put himself in a deficit, and then you also have to look at it. Can we give Shedeur credit for character?
Yeah.
How many lashes does Shedeur have to take? And he can't win. You know, well, he's already won because God said his actions already been put into play. He's already won. So with that being said, what I'll tell you is this one here. You have to make sure Shedeur has to make sure he needs somebody with his best interest. Because, like I'll say again, people don't realize it. A coach can make you really look bad. And people tell me, what you mean? Steph Nasty's scheme does not fit Shedeur. Steph Nasty's check down. Let's do this here. You can have check down. Let's roll over this here. That stuff don't work. That stuff works when you just saying, hey, I just don't want to be embarrassed. and I just want to play this game as long as possible so that I'm trying to keep my job. What's happening is this here, BWatts, and this is Shedeur's problem he's going to have. If they keep Steph nasty, when Shedeur gets in there, watch what you're going to see. Watch how nice he's going to be. Watch the kind words he's going to start saying. Watch, I always knew Shedeur had it in him, and we worked and we wanted to work. This is how they do it. We put all that hard work. We just didn't want you guys to see it because we wanted to keep him focused on the mission at hand. And the mission at hand was to get him prepared and ready to perform at the optimum level that he's performing in right now. And it was me putting that plan together that made this all possible. But it was his hard work that helped secure this. We had to, hey, this is what they're going to say that's going to piss people off. We had to tweak some things. We had to get some of that bad stuff that he had at Colorado out so that we can do the things that we needed to do to make him the quarterback that he is right now. And I'm looking like, man, stop that lie. His daddy had him that quarterback way before because his dad invested in him when he was a little kid, when he was on that Trinity and all them other places that he played. His dad invested that time. His dad and mama did this thing. His brothers invested money and stuff like that. Steph Nasty wants to keep, bruh, he making $14 million. It's hard to go to your wife and say, sweetheart, we don't have $14 million no more. We got that money gone. That's like a rapper. That's like a rapper. Rap out there in them strip clubs spending all that money. That money gone. Yeah. So he is fighting for his life. And he's fighting for his life because Barry got a choice. Barry, are you going down with the Titanic? Or Barry, you gonna keep that lifeboat and say, hey, the Titanic's sinking, but Barry is saved. Barry on that lifeboat and said, hey, see you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Back to you, BWatts.
Yeah, JR, Steve took my next topic. When it all said and done and Shedeur get out there and ball out, will Kevin Stefanski take the credit for developing Shedeur Sanders into the player that he finna get ready to display to the whole world?
Hey, then I already said it. we just, I've seen this narrative with the NFL a time or two. The script is already out. All you got to do is turn to page 12.
Yeah.
Read it verbatim. That's what he's going to read it verbatim. Just like that at the podium, he's going to read it verbatim after a win when they got the microphone in his hand. He's going to read it verbatim during the coach's presser. The script is already out. Page 12. There you go right there. Let me pin out this name here and just put Shedeur. That's it. Same script. NFL use it over and over again.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly what gonna happen.
Hey, BWatts, he's gonna be like Don King. Don King, when the boxers boxing, Don King be sitting there watching. And as soon as you get knocked out, Don King running straight to the person that won. And he putting his hands around and throwing his hands up in there, putting the belt around him. Only in America. And that's Steph Nasty. Only in America. This the cool part about it, JR. Even if they fired him, and Shedeur goes and be's very successful, you know what they're going to say? They gave Steph Nasty a raw deal. He put all of that work into Shedeur, and look what's happening now. You know, you didn't give him a chance. And they still go around and somebody's going to hire him and say, oh, what he did for Shedeur Sanders, he can do it for my guy. Back to you, BWatts.
Well, that's some nasty work, bro. Well, they do some nasty work in the NFL. That's nasty. They put the dude down there on the field by himself, throwing in trash can and to maintenance man. And boy, I'm telling you, that is some nasty work, man. It is what it is, though. That's the life of being in the NFL when you're around 32 billion now. That's what they do, man. Wow. Hey. All right, guys. Anybody got anything else on Shedeur before we move on?
Nope.
You on? All right. Let's move to the next topic. Let's switch over and talk about Coach Prime. Coach Prime said today in his presser, he don't care nothing about Cleveland. He don't care what they do. Yeah, I do care about Shedeur. What you take from that statement there, JR, when he said that? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, he meant it too. He don't care nothing about Cleveland, man. Look,
Yeah.
what y'all want me to say about Joe Flacco getting traded? Whoop-de-doo, man. Like, I don't care. Good question though. But I am a father, so yeah, I'm gonna say my son on the team. Look, man, hey, I know he ready. He prepared. That's all. That's all you can say. So for Coach Prime to just keep it that simple, look, I don't care what's going on over there. Look, I already got enough going on over here. I got blood clots. My team losing. Cleveland. Oh, okay. So unless you telling me Shedeur the starter now, then I can elaborate. Other than that, look, man, hey, it is what it is. So I think that was very short and to the point for Coach Prime, man. He kept it on topic and kept it moving, man.
JR, good thing Coach Prime is the man that he is. Because if it was me, I would go back to barbershop. And in barbershop, you had Cedric the Entertainer. And they was talking about Jesse Jackson. And they told him, you ain't gonna talk about Jesse Jackson like that. And he said the magical words, blank, step nasty. And that's what I'd have told him. Right there, and I'd have left it at that, and I'd have dropped the mic. Because that's all you need to say. Man, ain't nobody stunned by no Steph Nasty or the Cleveland Browns. They didn't do nothing for Shedeur. Let's look at it this way. Shedeur like David Ruffin when it comes to the temptation. Ain't no temptation without David Ruffins. You just a glorified group without David Ruffin. And that's the truth. Without Shedeur Sanders, ain't no Cleveland Browns. And I'll tell you that. And people like, well, what you mean by that? Who was talking about the Cleveland Browns? The people in Cleveland weren't even talking about the damn Cleveland Browns. They're talking about how sorry they was and how sorry they is, and they ain't got no vision or no direction. So with all that being said, I'll tell you like this here. The man has taken a community. Let's look at all of those kids in them high schools that he's invested in. The last person to do that was the King, and that's LeBron James. That's the last person to do all that in Cleveland. And when you got a man that's invested like that, how many public schools is Littlefingers going to? He won't even go to the kindergarten, and he they size. So all I'm telling this one here, now he might go to them private schools, but he ain't going to them public.
Oh, yeah, nah, man. You can't do that. Time out, bro. Time out, man. You just trying to say the man going to what you trying to say? The man going to a midget school? He going to the midget school, bro? Come on, man. Come on, don't do the man like that, man. I think me and Dylan Gabriel same height, man. You talking about DT, you talking about me, big dog. He gonna say little finger went to the
he won't go to the elementary school. Yeah.
He in daddy's daycare. That's what he do. He running around with Eddie Murphy and daddy's daycare. Oh hell no, we gotta cut you off of that. We sorry, Dylan Gabriel. We didn't mean that for coming over here, man. That cold-blooded, big dog. That cold-blooded, man.
Hey, you shooting all them bullets, and then you want to talk about Uncle Steve, you wrong. How you shot about 60, you done shot a Uzi at that man, and now you talking about I'm wrong. Thank you, people.
They didn't know who that gun came from, though, man. Oh, man. Steve, you hell, man. You hell, man. But check this out, though. While we on Coach Prime and the Colorado football team, we took a loss. Let me get y'all take on the game just past Saturday against TCU. I haven't talked to y'all this week about the game. Well, I saw your text message, but yeah. I want to get it out your mouth. To me, you can't win when you turn the football over. I think this was the worst case Salter ever played. And he had 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions, and you just can't do that when you're the starting quarterback. That's just me on that. I think that loss on him. That's me.
Yeah. Man, look, that was tough, man. Going back home, I know you want to put on for the city. He's from, the Dallas Metroplex area. So I can only imagine the emotions that he was going through. So he wanted to be larger than life leaving that city, man. And and to throw 3 interceptions, and then the team still overcome those interceptions, but you know, they just kind of fell back into their old way of non-winning football.
Right.
So what I saw from the team overall, right? I saw a competitiveness from the team, and that's from the coaching staff all the way down to the players, like coming out. I saw different formations and motions and sequences of play calling. Although I don't understand why they don't run the football at the 2-yard line with about 7 seconds left before the half, and you still got 1 timeout, so you can run it, literally get stopped, and then kick a field goal. That I didn't understand. But you know, outside of that, look, man, I even got to clap it up for Coach Prime. He was even on the headset a little more than any other time.
Yeah.
So that was even different for me, dog. But the defense, look, the defense played better, right? They were stopping the run, but then it's still some instances where it was a 3rd and 17 and TCU quarterback runs for 16 yards. So it, you know, but overall the defense played good enough to win. But it's hard to win when you said, BWatts, you got 3 turnovers, and then the turnovers are not even happening deep on the other opponent's side of the field. They're happening on your side of the field. So that puts TCU in a short side of the field. And then you got people like Tion Park saying, come get me. Dog, nobody want to come get you at this point. Yup, you're out there getting burnt up. Look, Makari Vickers, he done got beat the same time, the same way 4 different times. Makari Vickers. Why is he still out there? But other than that, look, JB played a solid game. Reginald Hughes played a solid game. London Merritt looked good. Brandon Davis Swain looked good. Draylon looked good. Dallin Hayden looked really good. Michael looked good. The receivers looked good. K-Salt picked the absolute worst time to have the worst game for him. But let me say this to the fan base. Now, before this game, everybody was saying, why did Coach Prime sit K-Salt? Why? Why are we doing a QB carousel? And then this game, you know, he has one of the worst games probably of his collegiate career. And everybody's saying, look, he ain't it. You need to sit him. It's time to move on. But hey, people, pump your brakes for a second. Just pump your brakes for a second. If you watch football long enough, you're going to see some quarterbacks throw 3 interceptions. The crazy thing is he threw the 3 interceptions and they were still in the game. DJ Lagway threw 5 interceptions against LSU. They only lost by 10 points. So they were still in the game. So for me, look, K-Salt, you got to be better. You can't come out there 3 turnovers. That's inexcusable. And he acknowledged and he accepted that, right? But everybody ready to ride off into the sunset and say, he ain't this, he ain't that. But just last week, the week before, the Georgia Tech game, the Delaware game, the Houston game, saying, well, why did Coach Prime do this? Why did he sit him on? I don't understand that part. But what I will say is that play better, K-Salt, eliminate the mistakes, and when all else fails, use your feet to get where you need to go.
JR, if I'm the coach and K-Salt got to start, because what K-Salt has done, what he showed me, the first 2 possessions, he's gonna give me 14 points.
Yeah.
After that, I'm pulling him. I'm gonna give him 3. I'm gonna give him 3. I'm gonna give him 3 possessions. I'm gonna give him 3 possessions. If he give me the first, if he's scoring the first 2, or even 1 of 2, I'm gonna keep it in there for that. I'm gonna give him that 3rd one. If I see what I see where you going them 3 and out or whatever, I'm pulling and I'm going to my next quarterback, because I saw that movie. I saw that movie. And when I see a movie and I know it's like Groundhog Day. When you watch Groundhog Day and he did it so many different times, he knew when to do when to make that switch. He knew when that next move was gonna make, and I'm gonna make that move. So if he's gonna give me 14 points and ain't gonna score no more into the third or fourth quarter, I have Juju in there. I'm like, come on, Juju, you show me something different. But with that being said, I will put it to you this way: they played hard, man. The offensive line, boy, they hurt that offensive line. That offensive line is playing. The
Yeah.
offensive line did a very good job, so I commend them. And I'm gonna tell you what, Coach Prime got something in common with Fantasia. You know, Fantasia, when she's singing and she doing her thing, what? Hey, people in the chat, anybody who knows Fantasia, when she's singing, what's the first thing she do when she's out there on that stage? When she's singing and she into it, people in the chat, the lady's gonna tell you, what does she do? What does she take off when she kick off when she's singing?
But I'm sure.
Coach Prime was coaching, and he kicked that shoe off when he was out there coaching.
Yeah, he was
So
coaching,
I
man.
have to commend him on that. He was out there coaching, homeboy.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't see everything, but that man was coaching. You
Yeah.
can say whatever you want to. He was coaching. He was telling these people what was going to happen before it happened, and just like that punt. He told them exactly what to do, and they still didn't do it. So the timeouts and him coming out there and encouraging, and he telling him you got to do better, and him speaking to him and stuff. He did an outstanding job in that. I commend him on that one. The team played hard, BWatts. It's hard to argue with a group of guys, and they played hard.
Right.
The key is this one here. How bad do you want it?
Yeah.
You know. And people like, well, it's a difference between playing hard and your life depending on it. Let me give y'all an example. They had a boy for Buffalo who dates Cardi B, and his name is Stephon Diggs. When he played, when New England played Buffalo, every play came to him. That boy's making catches, and he was into. They were not going to lose that game. He would have died on that field before they lost that game. That's about taking it. That's about want. That's about I'm gonna go get it. That's a killer. It's good to play hard. It lets people know, oh man, I played hard. What a killer at. I'm not coming off of this field unless you carry me in a body bag. That's the kind of players you need to have. And right now we're just not seeing it. We're seeing players who get out there and they play hard and they go through the motion. You know, that's just like, hey, I'm just going through the motions. I want somebody who's gonna tear your head off. I want somebody who's gonna finish. My question to the Colorado Buffaloes: when are we gonna get our happy endings? I just don't like being happy. I need to get a happy ending. And I'm just telling you, I'm not getting it with the Colorado Buffaloes. Back to you, B.Watts.
Yeah, it always be that third possession. And then coming out of halftime, the third quarter where the offense stalled. Look like Pat Sherman want to go back to the old plays and still some of the plays that he was successful on the first two drives, you can't continue to run them plays. They don't call on the Draylon in the backfield when the center that snapped on the ball. If you continue to run that, you send K-Soft in motion to the right, and they see Draylon back there, they know what's coming. They know what's coming. So
I got B.Watts, I got a question for you. Check this question out. When Yaya comes in the game, what are the Colorado Buffaloes going to do when Yaya come in the game?
They're going to run the ball to his side.
Thank you. Everybody think that you're going to run the ball. Why don't you pass?
Yeah.
It's 99.9. They thinking you're going to run the ball. That's the time when you can do a play action. And now I can look for Sincere down. Now I can look for Sincere running down that field and hit him with a deep one. It's just it ain't rocket science. You got 5 receivers back there, because if you got Draylon back there, that's 5 receivers, man. You got 5 receivers on the field, and you're telling me that you can't get a matchup problem? And then my thing is this: why don't they put Q for 6 and Draylon in the backfield? And the reason I say that, if you put Q for 6, but he ain't gonna be no running back, people. My thing is to put him in motion, put him in the backfield, put him in motion. Now you can put him in a slot from that position, and now you might have a linebacker on him, and you can have him drag across that field, and boom, or you can have him go straight up that middle. It's all kind of things you can do with Draylon because he's a receiver.
Well, I
How you
will
don't have a
say
mismatch?
they did. They did have him back there. Then they got a penalty. So the play never even materialized. But he was back. Draylon was back there, and Q for 6 was back there. They got
Right.
a penalty, back 5 yards, and then Coach Prime just took him off the field. So, but look, the creativity was there, from Pat Shermer and what's his name? The tight ends coach Bartoloni. The play calling is getting better, the sequencing getting better. It's just now, like you said, a winning mentality, and that starts from the coaching staff all the way down to the players. That's their problem. They can't. They don't have a winner's mentality. So,
And then when you look at the wide receivers, man, they really ain't open, man. I keep saying Cecile Brown running 4-3. He don't run that 4-3 no more. That probably 4 years ago when he
yeah,
didn't have them pads on. But yeah, when I don't see that, he ain't running no 4-3 on the field. Now,
yeah,
And,
you,
it does
yeah,
and
be, but he
why
does
ain't K
have a
Salt running the option too? The guy said it. I don't know why they're not running the option. I'm like, you got these fourth, third and twos and third and three. Run the option. You can't stop it. They got to make a decision. Either they're gonna hit the quarterback or he throw it to the running back. You can't defend it.
yeah.
It's like a guaranteed first down, and you just don't open nothing up. You got slow quarterbacks that'll run it, but we got these speedsters on our team, and the only thing we do is sit back there. I saw K Salsa back there one time. I thought it was 10 seconds, and then throw the ball to nobody. I'm like 10 seconds. He getting time. He
Yeah, ain't
getting
nobody
time.
open.
Time ain't an issue.
Yeah, them
yeah.
wide receivers ain't open, man.
Nobody open. Even
They
the
ain't.
pass he threw to Omarion Miller, like down there in the end zone. I mean, you could say it was a 50-50 ball, but I mean, technically Omarion was covered. He just made a better play on the ball. But yeah, I mean, look, receiver play got to be better. Coach Field and call a multitude of receivers out saying, hey, you got to play better, right? You got to want it. Everybody want it until it's time to, produce. And the play overall from the team, like I said, it was inspiring. They came out, they just don't know how to win. So starting off faster, like not having a successful drive in the first quarter, you got to be able to at least string some successful drives along in the first quarter. So they started off slow this game after the BYU game, putting up 14 points in the first quarter. Then this game, TCU, they put up no points, but then they get hot the second quarter. But then the last 4 minutes of the half, you lose the last 4 minutes of the half. TCU score on Vickers over the top, and then you come back. TCU get a field goal off of no, they get a touchdown off of a K-Salt interception, and then you get the ball, drive it downfield to throw an interception. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can't make it up, man. And look, I saw people blaming Cam Michael. Man, that's football. It's the most ironic thing that happens, but that's football. I'm sure the call sign, whatever it usually is, like fire, fire, fire. It looked like he was slowing down to get out of the way. The ball just came out of the air and hit him on the shoulder pad. What can you do about that, right?
I mean, but Coach
Uh,
Prime told Q6 what we're gonna have. They're gonna kick it short, no matter what. Don't let that ball hit the ground. You got to run up and
Got to
fair
run
catch
up
the
and get it.
ball. Fair
Yep.
catch the ball. He just didn't do it. You
He
know,
ain't do it, man.
he didn't do it.
But
And
I
then
mean, that's what happened when as talented as he is, that's what happened when you got freshmen out there. So
yeah, yeah,
it happens.
yeah. But anyway, hey man, they had they should have at least be 4-1, at least.
For sure. Yep,
At
for
least.
sure.
No, that's worth. Well, what it gonna take? We gonna after this question, we out of here. What it gonna take for them to beat Iowa State? I think Iowa State the best team in the Big 12. This Saturday, what are some things that y'all would like to see Colorado do to win this game? And then we'll be out of here.
Look, literally, you can do the same thing you did against TCU. The formula's there. Now you just got to be able to consecutively put together quarters, right? Or put together halves. However you want to break it down, half or quarters. But you got to be able to string it together consecutively, right? Minus the turnovers. CU played a really good game, minus the turnovers, right? But even if you add the turnovers in it, they still had a chance to win the game. It's just winning football did not occur over small periods of time. So the game plan going in is you coach them up. I could tell that you're putting more attention to detail to some things. You heard, if you listen to the press conference after the fact, you heard Taufik Byers say, we played more zone coverage. This the most zone we have played throughout any of the games. So they're looking at situations and they're like, yeah, we got to do this better. We got to do this better. So now it's about just fixing a little thing here or there. Iowa State just proved that they are beatable, right? Every team's beatable, but this past weekend, they just proved that they're beatable. And you put together a solid game plan. You go in there and then you establish your pace and your tempo of what you want to do. Eliminate the turnovers. See, you could easily win this football game at Folsom Field.
Well, Cincinnati gave you the blueprint. Cincinnati went in there and smashed them. Cincinnati ran the leather off that football against Iowa State. And they still running. The difference is this one here. You have to be physical with a team like Iowa State. They are more finesse team. They get back there in that 3-5 defense, whatever they're running back there, 3 linemen, then have 5 people back. You got to run that football, man. And you got to stick with it. And then you got a quarterback the way we got him. Make it easy for him. Make it so he can do the simple plays. You keep things simple. Keep it simple. And then this is what I'll tell you. Jordan Seaton should be in there pounding. We're running the football. I don't give a what he call. We running the football. Let's run this football and keep pounding it. Because this is what I can't believe, BWatts. Everybody talking about how great coaching and stuff like that. And Coach Prime even was, he got on him today and he was telling, well, we ran the ball. No, Coach Prime, you ran 35 to 32. Yeah, you ran the ball, but the problem is this. You got running backs averaging 6 yards per rush. When you got 6 yards per rush and your quarterback was having the issues that he had through them 3 interceptions, he should have been throwing the ball no more. Why are you throwing the ball? The only throws he should have had, you do a play action and the deep bomb. And with the deep bomb, if you throw an interception back there, you get pass interferences. You get pass interference easy. With a 6'5" receiver, one-on-one, that should be a positive play. But with that being said, we have to pound the ball. And this is the next thing, BWatts. How many games are we going to continuously see where it's a 3rd and long and they put every player on the line and the middle of the field is wide open? How many times we going to say this on this, on this podcast? Every game. And I'm like, come on, folks. Why?
Yeah.
They don't get it. Your boys don't get it. Keep them back. I want to see 2 linebackers stay. I want to see them playing it there. I want to put some cement on the ground and put their feet right there.
Yeah.
And then it's the next thing, BWatts. They always said down and distance. Why is it if it's a 3rd and 15, your DBs are 17 yards back instead of inside the first down? What people go outside of the first down and then they back up? Why are you backing up and you're 15 yards? Who's gonna beat you? Some stuff I just don't get, and this is technique. And I'm like, y'all say down and distance. If it's a 3rd and 10, everybody should be 8 yards in. at 8 yards back at the most, and that gives you still 2 yards, and you're still 2 yards away, even if they got up there. Why are y'all backing up? It's just certain things I don't get. And the film don't lie. They go back there and you're like, well, what are they teaching them with this? You can't. And to me, it shouldn't be acceptable. Because when they're watching that all 22, you get to see them. You're like, dog, why are you backpedaling? And they need a 3rd and 18. Ain't nobody back there. What are you doing? You should be coming up or stand still. And I don't know much, but then you tell us, well, I played football. I know this, and this. Well, this is what I'm seeing. It's like football, basketball, soccer. Just because you play it, don't mean you mastered it. It's a difference. You can play with yourself. Don't mean you mastered it. So I ain't hearing all that. I played something because I see people every day. They play every day. Some stuff go into your head.
Time out, man. Yeah, he said you can play with yourself. That still don't mean you're getting on. Cause some he said, what he said? Hey man, we gotta hear this show, man.
Hey, the sequence of the words was kind of like, hey, what?
He said just because you playing with yourself, that still don't mean you're getting on. What? Oh hell no. Co-Prime, my bad, Co-Prime. That's on me. I didn't know he was gonna say that, Co-Prime. I really didn't know it. The coaching staff. I didn't know Steve was gonna say that, man. I don't know why JR didn't stop me. He's sitting up here laughing. I'm calling time out. JR sitting here laughing.
Hey, what? Yeah, what? Hey, that was a diabolical sequences of words. Hey, just because you played the game, you can play with yourself.
Yeah.
That don't mean you mastered it. What? Somebody gonna be listening like, hold on, man, what the hell are they talking about?
Hey, I know what he was talking about.
That was funny though. That was funny.
I said, damn, man. Well, you here, man. Well, thank you for that super chat. Play case off first half stop. One half. Appreciate the super chat. Boy, you here. Oh, you here, man. You here tonight, man. It's Tuesday night. Yeah, I don't know what y'all expect. It is what it is. But hey, let me get y'all last take on this. Mark Sanchez, a former quarterback who, man, that's just a crazy story. I know y'all not heard the story. Mark Sanchez, a former quarterback, was in an alley and ran up on a truck driver who was just delivering or picking up, they say, grease or just working. Ended up got into an altercation because where he was parked there. And he ended up getting stabbed. And then they ended up charging him for starting the altercation. What y'all take on that? When I know y'all heard about it. Just give me your take on that. Be out of here.
Yeah, it's interesting. Look, my parents always told me don't nothing happen good after 12 o'clock, man. So the incident occurred at about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. We talking about Mark Sanchez. I don't know his measurements, but let me just take a stab at it, right? An NFL quarterback. He was a #1 first round draft pick. So if I'm just take a stab at it, I'm gonna say he at least 6'4", about 230, something like that. So he ain't no small dude.
The man that got stabbed, JR.
Time out, JR. I love CC said, "Unc on that yak."
He ain't put the cup up, CC, but we know it's somewhere close.
Oh, hell no, CC. Hey, I know when I go to see the fellas, I know I'm going to hear that tomorrow. CC told Unc he on that yak. Hey, go ahead, JR. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
But yeah, so I like I said, if I take a stab at it, I'm gonna just guess, right? Somebody can fact check me. But Mark Sanchez probably standing about 6'4", 6'5". I'm gonna say 6'4", and he at least about 230 something, or at least that's probably what he played at when he was an NFL quarterback. And look, somebody out there just doing their job, like BWatts has illustrated. They're out there doing their job, collecting the grease traps from the restaurant. And Mark was ready to go. Maybe he had a little something in his system, allegedly, whether it be alcohol or another foreign substance. But he was ready to go. You need to move your truck so I can go, right? But apparently Mark wouldn't. He was tired of waiting, so he tried to get in the truck and move it himself. So the old man, 69, 70 years old, tried to, hey man, this is my truck. What are you doing? And if you see them pictures, Mark put hands, feet, and everything else. So,
Yeah, yeah.
look, whether the man was self-defense and he stabbed Mark 3 times or something like that, but it looked like that old man got stabbed up the way you see them pictures. Mark put some hands, some feet up on that old man. And it's a terrible situation altogether. But again, I'll reiterate, my parents said nothing good really happened after 12 o'clock, man. Bad intentions can occur along the way. Look, somebody put 6'1", 215. So 6'1", 215, and who knows how that, who knows the height and weight of that old man. But yeah, man, he really put some work in on that old man, and Mark got stabbed up in the process. But look, stranger things didn't happen, so we'll see what rest of the information comes out. Not saying that Mark is guilty of anything, not saying that he's innocent of anything, but we just gotta wait for further information, that's for sure.
Uncle Steve, they up that charge to a federal charge.
You got to. You got to up the chart, man. He beat the brakes off that dude, man. He beat the brakes off that dude, and then you're under the influence of whatever you had in your system. And with that being said, you know, and I know this guy is an elderly, and I guarantee he's a white guy.
Oh yeah, he was
Oh
fair
yeah.
skinned.
Oh
I don't know
yeah.
if he was
Oh
white or
yeah.
Hispanic, but he's fair skinned for sure.
Yeah, fair skin. So you definitely gonna get some. You got to get a little time on that. You're gonna get some P Diddy time on that one. So with that,
Sheesh.
so with that being so with that being said, man, you just can't put your. I understand when you're trying to get to where he's trying to get, and you got something in your system, and you're just thinking your patience, you just lose patience with people, and it's just unfortunate. You don't want to see that. He's gonna lose both people. The guy's health and then him. They're both gonna lose. This is a lose for both of them. The guy's wallet gonna be okay. His wife gonna be okay because she gonna get paid. She gonna get paid. She gonna be at the end of the day. She gonna get paid on this one here. But with that being said, it's not a good look. I just hope everybody is getting healthy and get the treatment that they need to get. But it just goes to tell you, JR said it, and parents tell you all the time, ain't too many things open at that time of night, legs and mouths. But with that being said, and jailhouses. So you got to pick which one. You got to pick which one you want to go. You got to pick which one. You got to pick which one you want to go. So I just tell folks, pick which one you want to go. You want to go to jail, or you want to go to the hotel? It don't make no difference. I don't know. I don't want either. I don't want either. I go home at 10 o'clock.
I'm in the house.
I go home at 10 o'clock.
Hey, we want to thank everybody for watching Sports Talk. We'll be wise along with J.R. Bachman and the one and only Uncle Steve. He the star of the show. Me and J.R. just here.
We just along for the ride.
Give me your last word, J.R. Uncle Steve, we out of here. Appreciate y'all, chat. Y'all the best.
What up? Yeah, man. For my last word, man, look, this comes, and I know a lot of people probably saw the story, but this is for Kyron Lacy, man. Young man, former wide receiver at the LSU, right? An incident happened at LSU that he had absolutely nothing to do with. Records show, right? Video evidence show that he was more than 70 yards away from an accident that occurred. But yet he was demonized, villainized, and the media weaponized their platform to try him in the court of public opinion. And then to compound matters even worse, a system and I forget the name of the county, but a corrupt system in that Louisiana county stacked evidence against him to further the notion that this young man did something wrong when he indeed did not. So it's a sad situation because apologies are needed across every spectrum. We're talking about from national news media, from your big brands, from from your smallest YouTubers, right? People were quick to rush and judge due to the look and the temperament and the perceived attitude of what they think black men are. And they were profoundly wrong in this matter. Profoundly wrong. So for a young man to be dragged through the mud, for his mental health to be challenged, that's inexcusable. There needs to be statements from LSU because they did not come to his defense when this whole situation occurred. There needs to be statements from the NFL because they propagandized what they thought happened. There needs to be issuance from that parish, that county in the state of Louisiana. The governor needs to speak. The mayor needs to speak. The sheriff needs to speak. There are so many people that uttered uncertainties about this young man that led him down a dark tunnel to take his life. And that's inexcusable on multiple platforms, on multiple levels. And that life can never be given back to that family, to the Lacey family. And how we are in society, how we are quick to prejudge is sometimes it's the worst part of daily life. And his life was taken, or he took his life, excuse me, because of society factors. So man, rest well, Kyron Lacey. To all his family members involved, if this message gets to you, I know words cannot console what your family is going through, but just know there's tons of people out there praying for you and your family. They're praying for justice. They're praying for retribution. So let this be a lesson to all that when we see something, it's not always what it is. And for that young man to be victimized and bullied in the national media to the point where it caused him to take his own life. I don't know how people involved with that situation sleep with themselves at night, BWatts. I don't know how they do that, Uncle Steve. And it's inexcusable. So friends and family, loved ones alike that cared and they knew about Kyron Lacey, it's inexcusable. And this not the first time LSU has done something like this. They have not stood behind players. Young man paralyzed on their field. And that family had to go to Good Morning America and speak to Michael Strahan because LSU is not doing their part to contribute to what he gave to that team. And again, this happens to Kyron Lacey. His life is taken. Nothing is being said. In his defense at that time, they were just quiet. No character statements, no nothing. And you had that young man in your program for 3 years. That's inexcusable. And and I don't know how Brian Kelly still has a job. I don't call for people jobs often, but I don't know how Brian Kelly still has a job. But that's it for me, BWatts. I'm off the soapbox, but because that has angered me so much over the past few days, it's inexcusable.
Well said. Uncle Steve, you got to close the message. We out of here, big dog.
Be good. God bless, JR. You did a fantastic job on that, JR. People need to educate themselves on stuff like that, because we all got sons and daughters, and we want to make sure. You're supposed to be innocent to proven guilty, but you know that it's unexcusable. But all I'm saying, take care of yourself, love each other, and always treat people with decency and respect. BWatts, you got the greatest chat group out there. All I'm doing is being me. No yak for me tonight, but I'm gonna go get something else. God bless you. Good night, and see you.
Man,
I wonder what that something else is.
I'm out.
We're trying to fix what was broken last week, and we're on to this week. We're not there last week. We're past that. We just got to go out there and do what we're capable of doing. We're prepared to have no opportunity to fail. That's how you bounce back from adversity.
This will be Colorado's second home game of the year, and I'm telling you, they need a big time win